place that's not necessarily public space. It might be a semi-public space. It might be even it could be a community meeting or a classroom, right? But you have to do that initial research if you're from the outside and go to where the people are. And if I could build on that a little bit, if you're new, if you're from the area, if you're nearby, you may already have that knowledge. So like, and I'll be talking about some other entities, some other agencies, organizations that do embedded planning. We'll talk about people from across the United States now that are doing it. So a lot of us were already rooted in our communities, but let's say somebody joins the City of Fort Wayne Department of Neighborhoods and they're not from the area. They may need to start to get up to speed on Fort Wayne neighborhoods, and that's where they start asking around and doing that research, talking to colleagues, and talking to people that can kind of point them in the right direction, especially if you're the first embedded planner that's going to start off like Dan was, right? So if you're an insider, if you're already part of the neighborhood, you may already have this knowledge, and if not, it's our responsibility to start figuring that out, asking around, and finding that where are the people, where's that critical mass.
Just a quick anecdote on that. So you all met Megan a couple of weeks ago from my staff. When we gave her first project, and I think we shared this in class, I wanted her to go out and do a parking study of the street. And she drove in her car to do the parking study. And I was like, no, you're doing it wrong. And she's like, well, I'm just counting cars. I'm like, no, you're doing more than counting cars. You're actually looking and seeing where everyday life is happening on that street. And so she said that she wished I didn't call it a parking study, but it was the idea was I was trying to get her out of the office into the neighborhood, seeing people on the sidewalk and having this conversation. So.
Maybe call it a mobility study.
I like that.
And encourage public transit instead of the car, or alternative modes of mobility for Megan or your next new staff member, right?
That's good. I like that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I had a question.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Unless it's going to throw you off topic, you're wanting to continue.
No, I was going to say, let's get it going, so thank you, go for it.
So how have you seen city government, kind of through your experiences with talking to people after you've kind of made embedding planning a little bit more mainstream? How have you seen those institutions start accepting or kind of adopting that form of planning and kind of what they think of it?
Well, mercifully, thank goodness, we have an official city government who's adopted it in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Shout out to Dan once again. I'm going to keep doing that because there's one city department that is formally doing it, and it is Dan's team. There's nonprofits doing it. There's some folks in the private sector, and then